My childhood environment was country. I was a very conservative young man. My daddy was a lay preacher. I hadn't done well at Green River Community College, basically partied myself out of school. And that's why, having gotten out of school, I got drafted. The government had created a system of lotteries, and literally they picked balls out of a bingo type machine. So my birth date, March 31st, was associated with a ball that was picked out, and the number was 30. So I was sent to a center for induction, and there went through the process of being physically examined and a number of other testing paradigms. But this was a time of great dissent against Vietnam War and against the U.S. military. And many of the people that were testing me were themselves draftees. And so on the occasion when I was sent to determine where I was going to, or what my major training would be, there was a young man sitting at that desk, a draftee, and he looked over my paperwork, and then he looked up at me, and he said to me, "There must be something wrong here. They've failed to check this box." And I said, "Well, what box is that?" He said, "The box that says you're colorblind." And he checked the box. And by checking that box, falsely declaring me to be colorblind, I was no longer eligible to be a combat soldier or a military policeman. He may have saved my life. Having said that, they still sent me to Vietnam. And having never been out of, I don't know, Renton, all of a sudden my nose is up against a window looking at this very completely different culture and environment, not knowing whether or not anybody was a threat to me. So yeah, I was afraid when I got there. I was really disconnected from my family and the rest of the world for my time in Vietnam, with one important exception. My mama sent me what we called care packages. It's got everything from beef jerky to a letter from mom or whatever it might be that just were proof that the world was out there. Well, at the time, which was now 1972, they were winding down the American involvement in Vietnam substantially. And so I was given the option. I could either get out of the Army or I could re-up and go to officer candidate school. It took me all of about, a half a second to decide that I'd go back to the world, as we call it.